Hi everyone and welcome to Cooking in Manhattan. Today I'm going to make for you something really simple and delicious. It's a savory chickpea pancake called Socca or Farinata. The ingredients are very simple. We will need some chickpea flour, about 1 cup of chickpea flour, and then separately we will measure 1 cup of water that we will slowly incorporate, then a little bit of salt, some Italian seasoning or fresh rosemary if you have it, and then finally some paprika. In a bowl I placed 1 cup of chickpea flour, and now slowly I'm going to add water to moisturize the flour and turn it into a paste. You have to go a little bit slow because otherwise it's going to congeal and have little dots of unmoisturized flour in it. So now I can add it all. You can do the same also if you want in a blender, but why using a blender when you can use a bowl and in a whisk. So okay, so this is rehydrated. Now I'm going to add a pinch of salt, about 1 teaspoon of salt, then a dash of paprika. There you go, or more than a dash if you want something that is a little bit more flavorful, and then finally a little bit of Italian seasoning. Obviously, if you have fresh rosemary, that would be ideal. Socca is, or farinata as they call it in Tuscany, it's really street food. So the traditional idea would be to add some oil in the mixture and then finally cook it in a very hot oven. But to avoid the fact that regular ovens can't really get to that type of temperature, I'm going to be using a cast iron skillet. So I'm going to preheat it first, and then I'll show you. It's really a very simple concept. It's very simple to what you do for a Dutch baby pancake. But we are going to not add oil to the mixture, but add oil to the cast iron skillet, and then we'll actually give a little bit additional moisture and create the crunch. So let's get on with the next step. Now for the technique. I have 2 tablespoons of canola oil in my cast iron skillet over high heat. This is very important because when the oil heats up, it kind of expands a little bit in volume, and so we'll be able to swirl it all over the cast iron skillet. At the same time, I started heating my oven at high broil so that as soon as the bottom part of socca is cooked, I can put it in the oven to make the top crunchy. So now that the oil has heated up properly, I'm going to swirl it around to coat also the sides of the cast iron skillet, and then in goes the chickpea mixture. Here we go. What we want to do at this point is actually swirling the mixture too, so that we make sure that the pancake comes out fairly thin. Here we go. A little bit like, as if this was a frittata. Now we are going to cook the bottom first, and when the bottom starts lifting up, then we will take the cast iron skillet, remove it from the stove top, and put it in the oven to finish the cooking. A quick tip: if you notice that the pancake is bubbling up, make sure that you flatten it back down. You want to make sure that everything is cooked properly, and if it bubbles up, it won't cook properly. So here you go. Be ruthless with it. We're almost ready to move it to the oven. We are ready to move our socca into the oven. You know how I know? I'll show you. You see over here, it's bubbling and it's pretty clear that it's lifting. Here you go. The pancake is lifting and steam is coming out from the bottom. That means that it's crunchy enough that it will lift up very easily. So now I'm gonna turn this off and then grab my mittens and put it in the oven. So again, high broil Make sure that you put it in the middle rack of the oven, and then in a couple of minutes we'll be ready to taste our socca. Our farinata is ready. Here is the way it looks. As you see, it's perfectly golden brown, and what I'm going to do is let it cool really quickly and then cut it in quarters, and then it's going to be served. You can use it for a lot of great things. You can use it as an appetizer. You can dip it into tzatziki or hummus or baba ganoush, or you can just enjoy it as is. Some people, instead of baking it this way, actually put some halved tomatoes and turn it into a little flatbread. But this is really street food that is meant to be enjoyed the way you want it. And one thing that is really interesting is that if you go to the north coast of Tuscany or Liguria, you will find this called farinata. If you go to the south of France, it's called socca. But the funny thing is that there is something in India that is a chickpea pancake that is very similar to this in terms of procedure. So you really see that sometimes some ingredients like chickpea flours can be glorified in any culture. Did you really think that I would say goodbye to you without trying it? You don't know me very well then. Here it is. Let's see if it's crunchy. Wow. It's still a bit hot, but it is absolutely delicious. It's crunchy on the outside and moist on the inside. This is perfect also for people who are gluten-free. But if you really want to know my favorite way of eating this, I really like to put a swirl of ricotta cheese, some prosciutto, figs, and balsamic, and that's the best way to eat socca. I hope you enjoyed making this gluten-free, very healthy chickpea pancake. And I'll see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan, but now turn off your computer and get cooking. Ciao!